Life is good in the shim. I'm Starseed Bey, and this is your Creation 13. Alright, so this video I'm going to be talking more about programs. Realizing, that your life is made of programs, okay? Made of ideas. Each little program, like these little faces here, is ran off programs. And you are one of many that decide on what program is ran. And you can even choose to partake in a mass program. And what do I mean by program? Program basically is kind of like, a file you attach to your computer, or a program or game, for example. So say you want to play an RPG, or you want to play a fighting game, or you want to play a strategy game, puzzle game, things of that nature. Those are programs, and your life is ran as a program. There's many programs to play out, but the key goal is to not run in any of those programs that are generated, but to create a whole new one that is balanced. And I'll talk about that in here a little bit. So we got all these programs that are running on this world right now, okay? I opened up my browser, and one of the news things popped up. People, tons of people. Okay, so you always have these pawns. Okay, you always have these little pawns that try to promote what they would like to see. Try to promote a program that they want to see in their reality. Okay, and you see a lot of these pawns all throughout. I seen, I think they're protesters, whatever they are. Protesters, pawns, same thing. They're mindless people, basically. So these mindless people, let's see, where was I at? Was I in Salt Lake City? Denver? I think it was in Denver. But I was in Denver, and they had these protesters just standing out there with posters and whatever it may be, and it just was a waste of time. Why? This is the question that I just always wonder, is why do people waste their lives on protesting for something that is not going to benefit nobody? I think they're protesting about some person that went to jail, or their views, or whatever. Protesters are out there to promote something that may have been wrongdoing or something like that. But why are they there? Why are they there? Are they part of a program? Yes. So these little pawns, these little programs, these people may not even be real people. Okay. And this is something you have to really observe in these programs. It's going to make sense, or it ain't going to make sense. But basically, how you want to view things like that, whether you're seeing protesters or not, is realizing, are those real people, or are those just part of a program that is generated to see if you will interact and become part of that program? And there's real people, and then there's just people that are part of the program. And that's just kind of how this game works. So the main point of this is, realizing that these protesters are sucking your energy in to keep you distracted from what needs to get done, because that doesn't solve anything. Be it religion, be it same-sex couples and same-sex marriage, different presidents. That was one of the key, one of the things of was people wanting a new president. So you got all these programmed people holding signs like who in their right mind still even believes that this government structure is even running this anymore? I mean, we have the internet now, so you can see all the manipulation and lies that are taking place. So literally, these presidents and stuff are just a joke, and a lot of people are really seeing this. And you'll notice that quite a few of the protesters or people that are going for a person are mainly just agents that will work just to draw you in. You got to realize how these programs and secret agencies work is they will literally hire people to get you to go in that direction. They want to distract you. They try to get you to go into that beast program, into that beast mode. They draw you in, and that's their job. They draw you in. And it's just like I was talking about business, you have to promote a product to draw people in to buy it. You don't promote a product, they ain't never going to know it exists, so therefore it ain't never going to generate sales that it needs. So you have to promote it. So whether it be agents or whatever, you have to promote your product. So that's what these programs are promoting product out there. And since humanity, you can view this, since humanity is going through different types of emotions, learning how to balance their emotions out. That's why you're seeing so many programs being generated right now. Through protests, through religion, same-sex thing, discovering your sexual preference. That's huge right now. Sexual preference is huge right now. And it's important to realize why that's there. But also realizing that we have to bring family structure back together. Family values back. One of the main reasons why your sexual orientation is so strong right now within people is they're learning how to balance out that sexual frustration or sexual curiosity, so on and so forth. Those programs are being generated to, being open to the surface to better generate the smart business ones on what we want to create and not create. Basically, it's out in the open, so then humanity can learn what they want to create and not want to create. What works, what doesn't work. I watch a couple channels on YouTube, same-sex couples, and you really see the interactions between them, and is that they're learning from each other on how to talk to each other, communicate with each other, because it seems that not all the time, but sometimes when you have a male and female together, they don't truly get each other. But that's the whole point, is you don't want to be totally one. You have to learn from each other to balance each other out. And humanity has gotten so offset on that. That's why this same-sex thing comes into play, because it got so chaotic. So now they're having to join male and male and female and female together to balance that state, to better understand each other, better understand their feelings, their emotions, their body, things of that nature. And it's frustrating. I've talked about my frustrations with it, but it's happening for a reason. Everything is coming to the surface, and just like I said, sexual preference or curiosity is at an all-time high to balance it out. It's literally getting thrown up so it can get balanced out, to create new. And that's the way with all these programs that are being generated right now, is to create a new aspect of things, a new reality of things. Okay? And just like with these bubbles, I'm going to keep using these because I think it's a great example. So each idea or each program generates out there, just like with this video is going to generate out there, and open up more files to observe and to balance things out, because each person makes a difference, and it's truly uncanny that just one person can make a difference. And it doesn't even matter how many views a video gets. You know, just like with me, I think I only get like 100 or 200 views on the majority of my videos. Some videos I've gotten quite a few views based on where humanity is going. But you know, just reaching those 100 or 200 people is going to quadruple things hugely. So say the 100 or 200 people who view this video are going to link up to this thing in their consciousness, and when they go out there, it's going to quadruple itself. So instead of it being 1 or 200 views, it's going to be like 50,000 views or 7,000 views, but you know, more like 50,000 views. Okay, so each person who watches a video is going to multiply by 50,000 views. So that idea is there, the concept is there, therefore it changes the structure of the reality. And when you learn how to do that, when you learn how to do this, how the programs work and how to manipulate the programs, then you'll start to get where on how this matrix works. But you have to understand it to know how it works. You can't just think of how it works. You have to know how it works. And it constantly changes. The structure constantly changes. And that makes you realize that this matrix structure has a IA structure, or an artificial intelligence. So it tries to better itself. So these programs will try to modify itself. So the things that I talk about, they'll try to modify it to try to keep their programs alive. But like myself, I'm an antivirus or an antibody, so I'm stronger than those programs. So it's harder for them to keep their programs from going. You view satellites, you view frequencies, TVs, phone towers, internet towers. Those generate frequencies in programs that try to prevent humanity from using their own programs, their own manipulation streams. It interferes with it. But when you learn how to run that program, or learn how the program is run, those frequencies can no longer touch you. This is one of the main reasons why you want to carry magnets and stuff around you, so then those frequency waves, they get distorted. You know, just like with magnets, you know, you feel that wave that they want to link, okay, or you flip it the other way, and you get that friction that it can't just attach itself. It just won't let it in. You know, no matter how many times you try, it just can't link up. And that's why you want magnets, because that's what's going on. Is there a lot of frequency waves? Just like the moon itself. You do a lot of research on this. The moon itself is a huge frequency wave. It's not a planet. It's a huge frequency wave. And that's why, you know, I've given you guys pointers on what that moon is. It's not that you worship the moon. It's that you realize that each stage of that moon, the frequency changes. So when it's a new moon, you want to really focus on what you want to create in your reality. And as that moon becomes fuller and fuller and fuller and becomes a full moon, what you send out into that program structure, into that matrix structure, manifests hugely because you sent those waves out. So instead of that moon sending waves to you, okay, you sent waves out there, and that moon recognizes it. Okay, it recognizes it, so that signal gets sent back to you, and therefore manifesting what you wanted to an extent. Okay, because the program still gets manipulated, but you still see results from that frequency. Let's say with satellites, so it's proven fact that satellites and things are used to manipulate people, and that's why they created these chips, and certain frequencies and downloads, and this is where you have to be smart and intelligent, because if you're just play dumb or are dumb, you're going to get manipulated just like that. So that's something to think about. So as a whole, view life as programs. Okay, you don't know who's real and who is just playing in a program. This is really important to realize this. So if you're in tune with this is going to make a lot of sense. If you're not in tune, then you're just part of the program. You could be a program. I could be a program, right? But if I'm a program, I'm a pretty interesting program. So yeah. So there's a lot of interesting program changes that I bring. Like I say, I like to call myself like an antibody or antivirus. Just changing the structure of things, and that's basically what this is. So yeah, so hopefully this helps you observe life differently. View and observe programs. And just sit back and watch. Sit back and watch how these programs play out. View and observe things. When I was going back to work, I was noticing couples, and this is a bizarre thing, but I know why it happens. But when you see couples, I'm just going to say male and female couple, the female always does this, and I don't know why, but it's always, she will rub the back of the guy. Always. It's like they don't even think about it, they just automatically do that. But I know why, and it's a healing factor, because women, the queens of the world, run this planet, and we, the kings, are second, okay, because we take care of the earth. The queens really are the leaders of this world. Honestly, it is, because they are the healers of the planet and the caretakers of the planet, in terms of making sure it's taken care of. It's us men's job to go out there and do that physical labor aspect, okay? But the female, the queen, is meant to be treated like a queen. So that's why she does that, because she's healing the guy, because he needs healing, he needs energy. Because when you rub on that back, it sends that energy frequency through your whole body. Okay, it's an energy exchange, and they do it unconsciously, and it's the most bizarre thing. You watch couples, and they do it every single time. It is bizarre. But that's why I want to make this video, because it just, when you notice how these programs work, you will really begin to see, on how programs are fading away, things are changing, but some of the residue is still there as well. So hopefully this video makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, just sit back, observe, review programs. Don't become part of programs, okay? But learn to be a leader in your business. so you can create a program that is going to help humanity. That's what we're looking for, is people who are going to generate and be their own business, be their own boss and leader, to generate new programs that is going to help humanity. So I'll go ahead and leave it on that. Love yourself, keep shining bright, and always observe everything and question everything, because that is the key to creating a new perception of reality. So yeah, talk to you later.